If you try to fight it, and some people try to fight pornography, I'm going to stop myself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And the more they fight it, the more they fall into it. Why?
With pornography, it's obviously one of the biggest hidden struggles that a lot of people suffer, both men and women today.
Yes.
George and I were reading before this interview that around 70 and 80% of men and about 30 to 50% of women watch it regularly. And some people get exposed to it as young as 11 years old. Yeah. So what would you say to a Christian who's trying to break free from this cycle? And how can they do that?
Look, the issue with the technology of our time and age, it influences the subconscious mind. And that's where it is so dangerous at its best. Because the human being has only control over the rational conscious mind, not the subconscious. So when you are watching something, whatever that thing is, and since you're talking about pornography, if you're watching something as such, that image that you are watching, it actually it overrides the rational, and it goes straight into the subconscious mind. It's like like a hypnosis kind of a wave, hypnotic. So watching a TV, or even on the mobile, on Facebook, on Instagram, whichever social media platform you're exposing yourself to, and this is where the book of Revelation alludes to in chapter 13 more so, where it talks about the beast that comes out of the sea, and then it talks about the false prophet that comes out of the land. Now, what did the false prophet that came out of the land do? He made an image of the first beast that came out of the sea, and he blew into that image and made it become alive, not in an animated way, but in a more realistic way. So Revelation 13, which was written by John the Beloved around 95-100 AD, he was speaking precisely about the 21st century more than any other centuries. Why? Because he's talking about TVs and all these social media platforms, the technology. And what is that image that he made of the beast, and he blew like a spirit into it and it became alive, is when you see people appearing on a screen. That is, when you see a person appearing on a screen, it's like a spirit. You don't see them three-dimensional. You see them flat. It's like a spirit, yes? Not three-dimensional. But that spirit is not a statue. That spirit is not animated. It's a real figure. So John the Beloved was saying Satan will use technology in the end of times to brainwash people. You see, TV, when it began in 1947 in America, it was black and white, and it was only 2 Christian channels. When the presenter, especially a female, would come out on that Christian channel, which was black and white, she would be covered more than Bishop Murray is. More than Bishop Murray is. Since 1947 to now, when a presenter comes out, they come out barely covered. This is the image which the false prophet made of the first beast that came out of the sea. And he forced the whole world to worship this image. So many millions upon billions of people watch things that they should not watch. The danger of this technology is one thing. It sends a hypnotic wave. A hypnotic wave, when you go to somebody and they use this hypnosis method, why do they put you to sleep but you're still awake? You're asleep but you're alert. When they talk to you, you talk to them. You're not asleep. Why? Because they control your subconscious mind. They've shut down your rational mind for a moment. This technology, it does that hypnotic approach exactly. So those waves that come out of those screens, they go directly and surpass the rational straight to the subconscious mind. Now, since we don't have, as human beings, direct control to the subconscious, it begins to shape, form, and mold the subconscious mind, yet we have no control over that. The more we expose ourselves to things we should never expose ourselves to, the more it starts shaping the subconscious. Guess what? After a little while, the subconscious, eventually, it will have to pour itself into the rational. When it pours itself into the rational, you are controlled by what the subconscious reveals to the conscience. You can't stop it. So dangerous. So when it does that, the rational will do what the subconscious just gave it. So what you watched, you will implement literally. And that's why people go to the wrong places for the wrong reasons, because they watched it. Now they are practicing it physically, literally. And this is where St. Paul talks about this so beautifully in his epistle to the Romans, chapter 12, when he says, "My brethren, I beseech you to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice." And then he says, "Do not be conformed to the world." What is the world? Evil. And why is it evil? Because the world is placed in the bosom of Satan. In the Greek translation, it is not placed in Satan, in his bosom. Not Satan is in control, but it is in the bosom of Satan, meaning he's embracing the world. You know, when you sit and you embrace something, you are so in control, you're so comfortable, that's it, you've got it. You don't need to work hard anymore. It is sitting in your lap. That's what Satan has done to the world. So he will put every poison to the world because he is the old snake. What do you get out of a snake? Nothing but poison. Technology is used in the 21st century by Satan to poison the subconscious mind of every human being. So St. Paul says, do not be conformed to the world. Don't be like the world, but rather transformed. And then the question is, St. Paul, how do I get transformed? How do I change from a worldly being into a spiritual being? How do I come out of this sick, filthy, evil world, St. Paul? He says, but rather be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because that's where it all started. It started in the mind. You must go back to the mind by the renew of your mind. Now, the word renew is a compounded word. There's the re prefix to go back, and the word new here is not new in the sense of something brand new for the first time ever. No, new here literally means origin. He says, by the renewing of your mind, you are only being able to be transformed, rather conformed. So he says, go back to your origin. Renew, go back to your origin. What is my and your origin? God. In the beginning, God, Elohim, created the heavens and the earth. He says, when an idea gets into your subconscious, the only one who can get it out of there is God. You see, there are certain things in life you cannot kill. And if it is the top of the list, which you can't definitely kill in this life, is what we call an idea. Idea can never be killed. And that's where ideology comes from. The word idea turned into an ideology. So when you look at that idea, if you try to fight it, and some people try to fight pornography. I'm going to stop myself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And the more they fight it, the more they fall into it. Why? Because you're trying to kill something that can never be killed. You're wasting your energy, your breath, and you're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And obviously, only one thing is you're going to end up with falling into that ditch deeper and deeper. So what do you need to do now? The only way to kill that idea is to replace it with another idea. To replace it with another idea. And the only clean, pure, sincere, honest, true idea is the Word of God, the Holy Bible. You want to give up on pornography? Don't fight it. Start reading the Holy Bible. That idea of God which is placed in that book called the Holy Book, the Holy Bible, that idea starts entering that subconscious, and it will start reshaping it and cleansing it. And like a washing machine now, it will get rid of all the dirt. And before you know it, the intellect now is safe and sound. Next time you look, you'll suffocate.
Wow.
He says it's like a movie. When you ask him a question, he takes you from the start, gets you all the way through.
Yeah.
He made me just think of the whole thing now.
But this is the only way.
Absolutely.
And it's with any other addiction, and I call it addiction, and it's with any other addiction, the Word of God is the only way to be set free from the bondage of Satan. It's the only way.
You think any addiction can't be stopped? Or every addiction?
Nothing stands on the Lord's way. Nothing.